beautiful souls, and welcome. This is Rochelle with the Healing Rose, and this is the hashtag my 10 most used decks of 2023, VR to highly sensitive tarot, and this is my oracle version. Just because in my practice I actually use tarot and oracle together all the time, and I had 10 tarot decks, so I'm doing 10 oracle decks, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to, is I wanted to because I felt like it wasn't fair to only do 5 tarot decks. So here we are. All right, so the first deck is this is an independent deck. You can get it from Grounded by the Moon through their Etsy shop, Grounded by the Moon. Second edition of the Practical Magic Inner Witch Oracle, which comes in a really beautiful box that opens up. It's got all kinds of wonderful things inside. I am currently using the New Moon edition, which has a really beautiful, fabulous kind of rainbow, translucent. I don't even know if it's showing up on camera or not for you. It's really fabulous. It's kind of like a raven's wing, really, when you look at it. There's shades of blue and purple in there in the really beautiful foiled edging. So this is based on the movie Practical Magic with, I mean, there's so many amazing actors in that movie, which is based on the book by Alice Hoffman. There's a whole series. It's got a really, really cute hand stitched, so it's not just a regular bound, but it is actually sewn together, so it lays flat. It comes with some extra cards. It gives you some ideas for card spreads. There's a few extras that came with the deck. It came with stickers and postcards. So I'm going to say it is very much well worth it. Just right off the top here, completely 100% totally worth it to order directly from the creator, as opposed to getting yourself an inexpensive knockoff version. So this is a premium deck. You will be paying a premium price. The cardstock is fabulous when you get this. The gilding is absolutely wonderful. The customer service that is offered through Grounded by the Moon is excellent. If you have any problem with your deck, they absolutely will help you to resolve that. So it's gorgeous. It has, and I love this, it pairs with so many things, but it's really fabulous on its own. So we've got T for inner wisdom, Tiger's Eye for balance. We have the Phone Tree for community, Firefly for auras or observe, Almas Veritas, of course, our true love spell, all about how we manifest, Lavender for luck, Butterfly for happiness, how symbols and our belief, the circle around the moon for change, Wisteria, meditation. We have the elements that are in here. All the fun symbols from the movie, you know, rosemary, midnight margaritas, the Practical Magic card itself, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is just so much fun. And, you know, I think one of the things I like best about it is that for some of the illustrations, they actually go right beyond the borders, which is really cool. Like with the Tiger's Eye, the chain actually goes right off the border. It's really, really cute. Excellent cardstock quality. Shuffles like a dream. The backs are really fabulous. It's totally reversible. It gives you really cute. So we have our, you know, the title, the keywords, and then it gives you something about the firefly, the meaning for it. It gives us a little affirmation, I am aware of and see the energies around me, right? So it's about, just gives us that it's about awareness. So we have an affirmation. Sometimes there's a little practical something to do for yourself. So it's a really cool little guidebook. You know, it talks about using the crystals, and it just says so much about connecting with the deck, working with it, taking care of it. I like to use one of the extra cards as my little bookmark in the guidebook. I absolutely love this guidebook. It is so fabulous. I can't even tell you how fabulous I could go on for forever. I just happen to have this really wonderful stretchy velvet bag that I had received with something else, and I've had it for absolutely forever, and it just happens to fit this ever so perfectly, and it's got a nice little stretch to it, so it's very comfy and happy in its little home. The box sits up on my shelf, and this travels with me. This has traveled with me like everywhere I've gone this year. It's super, super fun. I don't use it necessarily all the time in readings. Sometimes, every once in a while, I do use it for myself, though, all the time. So sometimes it's just like that extra bit of information that you're putting into a reading. And I can't say enough good things about it. And it's so worthwhile to get yourself an authentic copy. I can't say that enough. There's so many weird counterfeits going around. But if you actually want a quality deck that's going to last you a million years, please, please just go to the creator. All right, so the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle. This was a total surprise. I didn't expect to love it. I didn't expect to use it as much as I do. I do use it for my angel number readings, because the decks now from Hay House are all required to have numbers on them. I love that everything has got not just like a comic feel to it, but it very much to me feels like stained glass. I love the art style. I love the whole feeling of this deck. I didn't expect to. And I've loved working with it. And I work with it all the time. When I'm traveling with the psychic fair that I'm with, this is the deck that goes with me to do the angel number readings for people. And it has been so accurate for people. They really resonate not only with the oracle message, but they're actually, people are really enjoying the messages that they're getting from the angel numbers. It's not a massive, massive oracle deck, but it is really, really fabulous, super accurate. I have gotten so much use out of this deck already. So I know this is one that's going to be, it's going to be very, very positive. Oh, my dog can't get comfortable. She's digging at her blanket, trying to make herself the perfect little bed over there. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, this deck is nothing but, I feel, a lot of positivity, and it definitely really resonates with people. I didn't expect to like it as much as I do, because most of the angel decks, I mean, it's not fair to say, but a lot of the angel decks that I get, I find are a little too specific. They don't resonate the same way. This one is like, ugh, I can't even tell you how much I love that deck. So I've gotten so much use out of it this year. All right, no surprise. The Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. The artwork is by Jimmy Manton. I know you guys have seen this around. It's a very popular deck. So interestingly enough, I'm going to edge it because the lining of the box, when the deck has moved around, so it arrived like this from the shipping, the corners actually rubbing against this blue. the blue has, even that little bit actually caused more blue to rub off on the corner. So as it has shifted around inside of here, it's slowly gotten more and more blue on it. So I may actually just find a nice cobalt blue color to just edge this entire deck with. I think that might actually be very complementary to the deck. But I digress. This deck is gorgeous, and it is bold, and the artwork is such a interesting and unique style, and the messages, the guidebook is fabulous. So I do have two versions of this. I have the full size and I have the pocket, and the pocket oracle I like to take with me, and I use it as a kind of focus point or center point on a reading. I find the large one I use for myself at home, and I sit and I go through and I do the work with this deck. It is absolutely gorgeous. So this has a matte finish. I did just get this earlier this year, this version. This one I've had for longer, and I just really decided I wanted larger versions of the artwork. This is glossy. I do have an understanding that there was maybe an older version of this that was also glossy. I think I just have a newer printing of the large one. So the small one has the messages on the back. I felt like I wanted to get more information than just a little blurb, so I wanted the guidebook, which is one of the reasons why I got the large version. So I do have both going on, which is all right. I almost feel like I should take this and put the book in the bottom. It's just a little harder to get out, and then there's less contact with that the beautiful inside. This beautiful inside. Such a deep, beautiful blue. It's like the blue with like a purple to it. So both of these versions I would say are absolutely great. You do get enough information, I think, to use it as an oracle off of the backs of the cards. So if you're just wanting an oracle, the pocket version is fabulous. But if you want to go deeper with it, I do recommend the larger one because the book is so good. The artwork, I can't even say enough. It's beyond. It's just beyond. Okay. So this is one of my decks I'm studying with, because I had it a long time. This is the old version, which used to have this brown as a border to the card, and I trimmed it off. They had a beautiful gilding, and the gilding didn't have any issues with it. I just found I didn't use it because these are the backs, and then the fronts had this color here for the border, and I found I just didn't use them because I was so off-put by that brown border. So this year I have been using this as a study deck, like just really going deeper with it, and really learning this deck, and I found I have really resonated with this. So this is Collette Baron-Reid, and I am 99% sure that it is Jenna Della Grataglia that did the artwork. Ghostlands is just absolutely a brilliant card. Look at that. Some of them resonate so strongly. So I found myself really drawn to this deck, and it's one of the ones that I love this compass card. I haven't got the new version of it, but I actually like it this size, so it's almost like a regular tarot size now with the borders gone. I also trimmed off all my borders on Wisdom of the Oracle as well, just to make it a little bit more manageable. And I do really appreciate now that Hay House is coming out with pocket versions of these decks, because it's so much nicer to use something a little smaller. It's just a beautiful very honest, very to the point. Yeah, I've really enjoyed working with this. So it is one I travel around with a little guidebook in it. Guidebook's gotten, as you can see, a lot of use this year because I'm going through, and not necessarily card by card, because I find I'll do about a dozen cards that way, and then I get bored and I just start using it to read. So I'll just draw a card and then go and look it up and really go through and understand, both the upright and the reversed meanings. So right now everything is upright in the stack. And once I get really, really comfortable with it, I think I might shuffle it around and use it both directions. But this has been one of my decks that is a study deck this year. So it's traveled around with me everywhere, just so I can spend a little bit of time with it if not every day, when I have quiet downtime and I don't have people visiting or family and stuff. It's been one that has been where I've been able to do a daily study. Otherwise, at least once a week, I try to get myself in there. All right, Mists of Avalon Oracle. I have used this so much this year. Rose Inserra, illustrated by Nadia Turner. This is absolutely a lovely, beautiful, again, so Avalon, so Avalonian legend, characters out of the Arthurian legend. We have Excalibur, Camelot, the Taliesin, the White Hart, the Abbey at Glastonbury, the Lady of Shalott, King of the Fairy Realm, the Holy Grail, Bridget, Bronwyn, the Lady of the Lake. So it's got all these really fabulous characters from Welsh mythology, Avalonian story, all kinds of connections with the legends. Morgan Le Fay, of course, is in there with her raven, Igraine, Nimue, the White Spring, the Red Spring, the Chalice Well. So we've got all these really, really beautiful cards. The backs are, of course, very, very grounded feeling. And I've really, really enjoyed working with this. We have keywords all the way around the cards, which is nice. So they're within the border. I have contemplated trimming this, and then I just decided I don't want to because I feel like I could maybe sneak in here, but I don't want to lose any of the numbering. I just really like the design of this deck. I love the feeling of it. Like, just holding it makes me feel good. There's something about this deck, like literally just holding it in my hands, I feel all warm inside. So this one has had so much use because every time I pick it up, I feel good. So I have such a strong connection with this one. This one has had a lot of use. I have been using it together with the Wildwood Tarot, which is another deck that I'm studying. And the artwork of the two goes well together. The feeling of them, they're both very, the Wildwood Tarot is very Celtic themed. So they're very, very, very complementary. And they've worked so well together. I mean, I could go on about this deck a lot. I have a review somewhere, but I have to tell you, it's been one of my, maybe top 3 this year for decks that are just solid use. And it gives me such a warm feeling just holding it in my hands. There's so much positivity in that deck. I can't even convey it, how much I love it. All right, so this one I've used a lot since it came out this summer and I received it. I also, the first half of the year, I was using the Magdalene, what's it called? It's right over here too. It's right on my side table. The Mystique of Magdalene. That's it. So this is the one that I was using through the first half of the year. And then this came out and I find I'm using this a little bit more. The Mystique of Magdalene is a gorgeous deck. This one is a little bit more focused on the actual Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which is why I've been using it more. And it's beautiful. It's kind of like, it's got the color palette that makes me actually think of the old paintings in this ancient family Bible. And it just has like an old world quality to the color tone. But then there's like a modern layer to it that comes through. So I kind of like that, the juxtaposition that's happening there. And I've really enjoyed working with, because I'm doing a study with a group that Megan Watterson is running about Mary Magdalene, and looking at her Gospels, and there's a monthly meeting where we go through it. So I find that I've been actually using this deck a lot in preparation for that, and just reading through the quotes from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. And so this has had a lot of use, because it's actually part of my personal spiritual practice this year. So that's one of the reasons why it's actually getting so much use. And it's not that I'm necessarily using it as an oracle, but it's still in here because it is an oracle deck, and it is getting consistent, regular use. And it is in, it's on the front of the shelf there where I have all the decks stacked. This one is in front of the other one, so I know I'm using it more because I don't have to move it to get at the things in behind, right? So, all right. Okay, so this one, The Law of Positivism, Healing Oracle by Shereen Oberg. Artwork by Lori Mena. So it's another Hay House deck. And it's beautiful. It has a nice book. It's interesting in how it's segmented. So I find I am using this more as affirmations or a positive message to take away from a reading for people. So doing a reading and then drawing a card at the end, or when someone's getting a general reading and they're not kind of really sure what they want to read about it, I'll kind of draw one as a focus card, or I'll use it as part of a, what's the word I'm looking for? When we're using oracle cards as a coaching method, looking at aspects to work with. So for myself, I would use this as a daily draw. I accept my life exactly as it is and focus on that and use that as like, my mantra for the day, my little positive note for the day. It is gorgeous. It's stunning. I do really appreciate this style of artwork. It's beautiful, and it's soft, and it has a kindness to it that is really lovely. So it is a very pastel kind of deck, and if that's not your thing, fair enough, that's not your thing. There definitely been a number of decks that came out like this from Hay House. There was the Moonology Manifesting, there's this deck, of course the Rebecca Campbell decks. So, and I really appreciate that, because I really resonate with the color palettes. I find them very soothing, very easy to work with, very easy to use. Visually, it's lovely. We have a lot of different, there's a lot of diversity in this deck, which is nice. There's, I love a lot of the birds that are featured in this deck. And I think they're kind of used in interesting ways, right? The birds in the flowers, within the headdress. So I love this card. I love how her body, the tone, the way the color has shifted. It's almost like her body is the spring or the oasis itself. It's very cool. I love this deck. It's been beautiful to work with. It's been beautiful to look at. The messages have been lovely, and it's, I mean, definitely the people that I have used this deck with get really, like, they really enjoy it. You know, it's always like, oh, what a beautiful card. I love that message. You know, it's always something that resonates with people, which is nice. It's nice to have a deck that's like that. Okay. All right, time for a tiny deck. So this one is the mass market edition. And I know it's only recently come out, but I did get the, oh, look, and it's sticking. That's interesting. So I have edged this deck. So I do have the original, the independent, which I love, and I carry it around in my purse, so it's not even like it's in my reading bag. This has been in the inside pocket in my purse, and it goes with me everywhere. And then I was so excited for the mass market. And the mass market actually has a cute little book. So the independent did not come with a book. And so this is nice because it gives you some really cool information, and it's adorable, an adorable little book. I have edged my deck, so I have a really beautiful kind of sage green tombow that blends really perfectly with the colors of this deck, and so I have edged it, and it's fabulous. I love it. It's probably my favorite rune deck ever. And if you watched my review of this deck or flip through of it, you'll know that I cannot stop waxing poetic about how fabulous this deck is. It is just so on point. I could not have made a better deck myself for how well this resonates for me. I do like it. It is tiny. There are only 24 cards because there's only 24 runes in the Alder Futhark. So it does, however, shuffle beautifully. It doesn't want a bridge though because it's so small. So this is the Hay House pocket size, which is perfectly fine for me. So this is still kind of getting broken in, but while this copy itself may not have been used all year, the independent was until I got this. Now this one's traveling around with me, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this has been, it's just really great because I don't always carry my actual rune set with me everywhere, because I do have one that is actually made of moose antler that I use for actual rune castings themselves. That is a beautifully done set that I've had for ages and ages, but you know, I kind of like need a tray and a cloth for that. With this, it's like you can just pull the cards. And they're lovely. They're absolutely lovely. It's got a really adorable guidebook. It's so cute. So this has been definitely top 10 of the year. I've used it so much. Okay. All right. This is one that I've also been doing some study with. I draw for myself all the time. So it's the Ask Angels Oracle cards by Melanie Beckler. You can purchase them right at askangels.com. She does have a YouTube channel on here. It has really great information. There's, you know, at least a full 2 pages on every single card. It's a really nice guidebook. The cards are large. I feel like they may be, well, they're maybe slightly narrower than your regular Hay House. So it did come with a pouch. And I use this all the time, and I'm still kind of learning the cards as I go. Some of them are really obvious, like ask for help, authentic purpose, balance, right? Breathe and enjoy this moment. breathe, and ground. Some of them are so obvious. It's a beautiful deck. So I have found, oh, I love this. Nurture yourself with love and compassion. Such a beautiful card. Like, the imagery is absolutely beautiful. The messages are totally on point. So I really feel like I love the backs. I love this kind of raspberry color. The bag's fabulous. I mean, it's holding up incredibly well. I mean, you can tell, I think, by looking at it, it's a very well-loved deck, and it has just been all year. It's got thinner cardstock than a Hay House cardstock, but that just means it's lightweight and it shuffles really, really, really well. And yeah, live with passion, radiate joy. It has beautiful, beautiful messages, and it's interesting because there's so many mass market angel decks out there. This one is really, it's not a mass market deck, but it is definitely more, it has more to it. It just feels more authentic. It doesn't feel cheesy. You know, it's got a fabulous vibe. I love this deck. I'll probably do like a full flip through. I'm sure there's ones out there, but I love it. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Ask Angels. Okay, so this would be the top of my top 10. All right, so this would be my most used deck all year. This is probably, I want to say probably my most used Oracle deck, actually. I have worked with this deck extensively. I have not worked with the guidebook in a long time. I did not enjoy that there are 4 suits. So there's your confirmation cards. Yes, no, yes, you're already doing it. The ever unfolding rose. The inquiry cards. The action cards. The activation cards. Oh, wait, 5th suit. Transmission cards. It would have been so much nicer if they had been numbered and alphabetical. Or even close to. The suits are alphabetical, but if you don't remember what suit it's in, you have got to go back to the beginning and go through the list of everything to find where what is, and then go and look it up. So I feel like total disservice was done with the guidebook myself. I found it very, very frustrating to use. There's a couple of Hay House guidebooks that are like that. Nothing's alphabetical. Everything's all over the place, and but they're not numbered, so it's just chaos. But this is an absolutely gorgeous deck. So Danielle Noel, or Noel, I'm never sure how to say that last name, has done the artwork. So she did these, she was commissioned to do the artwork for the first 2 Rebecca Campbell decks, this and the Starseed. And then she started doing her own. And this is, in my opinion, the best Rebecca Campbell deck. It is actually the most useful. It is visually, the colors are soft yet strong. I feel like things are clear in this deck. Like with the Rose Oracle, things are so soft, you really have to look to find the detail, or it's just a little bit too ethereal in its tone. But this is like, even though it's very soft, it's still crisp enough that things are clear when you're looking, and you're looking at symbolism and you're looking to see things. It's really solid. I use this for shadow work all the time. I use this in conjunction with tarot when I'm using the Moonchild and the Starchild Akashic by Daniel Knoll. I use this oracle alongside. It works really well with them. I like the keywords and the phrases. Like, the titles are good, but then the little question that it asks on the card is great because the guidebook is so awkward to work with. I do highly recommend this deck though. This is still, I know it's an older deck, but this was still my most used deck. This deck goes everywhere with me. I use it all the time. I've used it a little bit less in the last 2 months maybe, because I've been doing more work with my angel decks. I've been working more with the Sword of Light, kind of really getting to know it, and working a little bit more with the Ask Angels because I'm doing more angelic readings for people. So I'm just spending more time in other people's readings, right? But this is definitely one where, like, the no is such a no. It's like, no, don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Like, I love the no. Share your voice, right? Get out of the cave. I love this. I love this deck so much. It's just, it's really fabulous. And the backs are still, like, it's gorgeous. And I've used it so much that the sides are no longer white. They're kind of this. So I think I'm going to be edging this. And I haven't, I don't know why, but it's just starting to look so dingy and I don't want to trim it. I have gotten myself a second copy of this because I use it so much that I feel like it's one of those ones I'll probably want a backup of. And there's not too many decks that I can say that of, that I need a backup version of a deck. But it's nice. It's so well broken in that it's just such a lovely soft deck to work with in the hand. Yeah, this has been my absolutely most used deck of the year. Yeah, I can't say enough about it. This was also my most used oracle deck last year. I probably used this deck more than I used tarot cards last year in 2022. Probably also in 2021. This was my most used oracle deck. So it's still up there. It's been a good solid 3, maybe 4 years I've had this deck. I can't even remember when I actually got this deck. It's been a few years. When did it come out? So, came out 2018. I think I got it in 2020. I want to say it was 2020. But it's absolutely been, you know what? I know exactly when I got it. I actually got this deck when the Starseed Tarot came out because Starseed was new, and I got this deck as an add-on, and yeah, 2020. So right when Starseed was new, this was like an add-on to the cart. It was one of those little things when you order from a house and they're like, oh, did you want to add this for whatever it was? It was very inexpensive. I think I added it to my cart for like $8 or something. And I wish I'd gotten 2 at the time. And because it's just brilliant. Everything about this deck. I love it. I know it's not the style that resonates with everybody. I know it's not the vibe. Like Rebecca Campbell's vibe isn't everyone's. She's got this very soft, this sort of really brilliant kind of softness to her in the work that she does, right? It's not confrontational. It's not bold. There's a great gentleness to a lot of what she does. And I know it's not everybody's vibe, but this has been my most used deck. And surprisingly enough, it's, work your light. And I just use it almost in my own practice, almost exclusively for shadow work. It asks really interesting questions. It lets me do a lot of personal examination or journaling about it. And it just barely fits in this bag. I keep thinking I'm going to trim it, but then I know I'm not. But yeah, this is my top deck. So I'm waiting for something to nudge it out. And it hasn't happened yet. All right. So if you're still with me at this point, I would love it if you would hit that little thumbs up button, or if you would like to subscribe, that'd be great. I do hope that if you've enjoyed the hashtag, if you wanted to do a response of your own, or at least check out this hashtag from other people. So highly sensitive tarot. There's quite a few. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. But there's a number of them coming out now. So they're all very, very fun to watch. And I hope that you enjoyed that. So if you've stuck around to the end, thank you so much for watching. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.